Alrighty, we have an outlet that's kind of loose when you plug in and out of it, and the box is kind of set back in the wall a ways. And we're going to use some Gardner Bender outlet spacers so we can make this outlet nice and secure. And we're going to put a nice new outlet in. Here in the country I was born in, we use 14 American wire gauge on 15 amps, 12 American wire gauge on 20 amps. The black is live, the white is neutral, the bare or the green is the ground. Red and blue are also live colors. And when you put the wire around the screw, you always put it around the screw the direction that the screw turns. When you tighten the screw, it closes the loop. So I'll show you how to do this. Here's the outlets that we are putting in. And it is nice to see that they're made here in the country I was born in. And here are the outlet spacers we are going to be using. And you can pause the videos to read the instructions. Alright, so you can see how that's kind of loose and see the space there between the cover and the outlet there. So we'll take our cover off. Unscrew our device from the box. We'll see how they did on these connections. They did pretty good. Yep, they did a good job. So we will just unhook these wires here. And I'll show you a little trick to keep the ground wire out of the way of everything. This happens to be a multi-wire branch circuit. So we have 240 volts between the red and the black. So that little tab is broken out. So we have two circuits in this outlet here. So first we have to break our little tab out on the live side. So you just take your pliers, you go back and forth like that. Okay, we'll open up our loops so we could use them again. Okay, now we'll close our screws we're not going to use. So we're not going to use one of the silver screws. Now we leave this tab in on the silver screw because the two circuits are sharing the one neutral. If there were two neutral wires, then we would break that little tab out on the neutral. But since we're sharing the neutral, we don't break that little tab out. So we're going to close our loop the direction the screw turns. Make sure it's tight like that. We'll put our ground wire on the green screw here. We have a nice solid connection like that there. Now we'll turn this around. Okay, now we're going to keep this ground wire zigzagged across the bottom here, so that way it stays down away from everything. And it doesn't matter which wire you put on top or the bottom, but the red was on top, so we'll put it on top just to keep it uniformed. So we'll close our loop the direction that our screw turns there. We're going to make sure we don't get that insulation under the screw head. Like that. See how our copper's under the screw head all the way around? Okay, we're going to make this loop a little smaller here because it's a little bit too big, so we'll bring it back, open it a little bit. We'll just cut a little bit off here like that. We'll make our loop a little bit so it comes in a little bit closer to the insulation, but not too close. Put it around the screw the direction that our screw turns. Close it the way that our screw turns, like that. Now I can bend the wire back over the device like this, so when I tighten the screw, it doesn't wrap the wire around. Oh, it opened up my loop a little bit, so I'm going to open this up. I'm going to bring this wire back, bring it back further. I'll close our loop again. I don't know how it opened, but mysterious things happen. So I close the loop again, the direction our screw turns. It is wrapped around the screw the way it... Now I'm going to bend this wire back over our device like that so it doesn't get wrapped around. And I'll tighten it up. And that's what we want right there. So now I'm ready to fold our wires into the box, not shove them in. We'll go down and up with our red. Go down and up with our white. Push it back in here. We'll keep our ground wire down away from everything. Now I'll show you these are a different brand here. These are made by Gardner Bender. Okay, see, we got quite a big gap here. So we are going to have to take our cutters here. We'll cut them apart like this. Again, they snap together like the ideal ones. And let's see how tight, flush that. Okay, one is going to be flush here. Now see how the bottom of the box? Okay, so we're going to put it on here like this. Now for the bottom, we're only going to need one of these. So I'll clip that off here. Clip. Clip. So down here we'll just put our one piece. One. Okay, see how our outlet is nice and tight? And when we put our cover on, see how nice and flush it is? I'm just going to look and make sure my ground wire is down away from everything. I'll push it down here. Okay, so we are all good. We'll just put our cover on. And see how it's nice and secure and our cover's nice and flush? Well, I can draw that. The cover was new. See, it's warped a little bit, but see how it's flush through the wall if it's not warped? It's nice and flush, see? But the cover is a little bit warped in the middle from being on there before.